All right. Well, I'm gonna let you go first. Then I'm gonna add this to the stage.
Stay at it. Yeah. Yeehaw.
Bam. And I think you can
Boom.
click. Can you? Can you click?
I can click. I got a little clicky click. I
Clicky
went with
clicky.
a circus theme this year
Love
You
it.
because
spelled comb wrong.
no, I did not.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Well,
because
go on ahead.
because this year in gaming was such a circus in the best and worst ways possible. So
Yes.
I
Totally.
felt like it was a fitting theme for
Totally.
for it all. So yeah, I my table of contents
Oh, love it.
I
Love it.
split it into different but everything's in order. This is what it's gonna break down in the top 10. So the last thing on the list on the slides will be what is my game of the year, but it is in order of and I was able to break it down pretty well too. So each one of these has 2 games in it. So I got like the opening acts, the Lion Tamers, the Freaks, Acrobats, and the main event, main attractions. That'd be 2 and number 1. So yeah, I lost track of what I was doing.
I love it.
So,
I absolutely love it.
yeah.
It's a good quote.
Yeah.
Put a fun or interesting quote here about video games and the year.
Yeah. But so before I get started with that, I will do these are my like uh alternate
Sure.
like all what's the word I'm thinking of? My honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions.
Yeah.
One
Cookie
year,
Cutter.
one or two are you reviewing? At least one of them you're reviewing.
Yeah,
Maybe
one
both
of them I'm reviewing. So 2 of these, Cookie Cutter and Asgard's Wrath 2, kind of came in a little too late for me to really
Sure.
sort of feel like I could put either of them on the list. And Homebody is just a great little like uh Alone in the Dark esque
Okay.
PS1 style horror game published by Rogue Games, and the studio behind it is Game Grumps, which is crazy. Uh, but yeah, it's a great little horror treat. I like that one a lot. Cookie Cutter is I'm reviewing it. The next time we do an episode, I'm gonna
Actually, you're reviewing Homebody as well, aren't you? I think you got the code for that one too.
No, I didn't because
Oh.
I didn't take the code because I had bought it for myself and you
Oh,
were going to give it to Johnny.
that's right. Okay,
But
well,
yeah, no,
okay,
yeah, no. Cookie Cutter. Boy, we'll talk
okay,
about that at length on the next
gotcha.
episode where I'm here to talk about a review game. And Asgard's Wrath 2. I got a Quest 3 for Crimbus, and it comes if you get a Quest 3, it comes free with it right now.
Okay.
And it is a fucking crazy VR experience. It's Taylor's gone already. He heard
Taylor,
VR
like,
and had to dip.
VR.
Yeah.
Asgard's Wrath was the awesomest alternate reality hologram thing they did.
Yeah, because if you get because you can play it on the Quest 2, but if you get it on the Quest 3, it does do AR stuff with it, where you sometimes have to fight shit in your room. So
I always have to fight shit in my room.
Yeah,
Literally.
So that's that. So the opening act, these will be 10 and 9. Number 10, The Making of Karateka. Or Karateka, depending on who you are. This is just a random screenshot from in the game of one of the behind the scenes stuff of when he was a kid and they just talking about video games at a pizza joint, computer games.
It's awesome.
I love Karateka, obviously the making, not the game itself. I don't think it's not a particularly fun game to play anymore, but the making of Karateka collection is absolutely perfect. It is like a 2.5 hour documentary that just happens to have stuff that you can play in it, and it's perfect. And I can't wait for the Minter one. That's the next big release, the volume 2 of this gold series. So
and check out JJ's review of the
of
Karateka.
Or there is a whole section arguing about how this is pronounced in the documentary itself. So number 9 is Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Is it a mullet?
That's my guy. I've had Cal look like this. This is a very, very, very serious cutscene that's playing out right here. But I've made Cal look like such a fucking sleazeball.
I love it.
He's got a full mullet and a handlebar mustache, and he's also a redhead, so it just looks sleazy as hell. But it's,
Looks like that dude on Walking Dead.
Yeah.
TV series.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going for Eastbound and Down. But yeah, no, I loved this game. It's got a hell of a Star Wars story. It's the best Star Wars game to come out in I don't even know anymore, 20 years maybe, I don't know. But it's just the story is so good. It picks up a few years after the last game, Fallen Order.
Okay.
And it's really about Cal sort of struggling, finding his place where the Empire knows he's out there, and and things are kind of going okay, but not great. But it could be better, and it does the Empire Strikes Back thing where it's him struggling with his emotions.
Sure.
Which is you always know what that means for a Star Wars game. And of course it ends on a sad but hopeful note. The third game is going to be, I hope it's just a trilogy, because it's kind of paced really well right now. So yeah, I absolutely love Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I didn't talk about it too much this year, but I think this came out like early in the year too. Like,
it did.
I can't remember. Yeah.
February, March,
like springtime. But yeah, I loved this game. It's fantastic, and it's got a big open world. You actually have a lot to do outside of just the main story, which is sort of the opposite of the Fallen Order, where it was a pretty linear experience. Like, it's got an open world. It's got there's sort of like your home base that you can go to and you build it up. And there's even gardening, Zach. You can garden in this game.
I'm buying it right now.
So yeah. Number 2, these are just some solid games. So these will be 8 and 7. Number 8, Spider-Man 2. Despite
I love that.
Sorry, photo mode.
Despite everything.
Yeah, despite the story itself is, I don't want to say terrible, but it's not great.
Yeah,
it's not. Because there are parts of it that I really, really like. I really like Harry's entire story in this game. Miles' story is garbage. They really sort of did Miles dirty throughout this entire game. And also at the cost of Peter, by kind of making him a wiener more so than ever. So they make like they are pressing so hard to make Miles the face of Spider-Man the video games, at the detriment of Peter Parker, which just kind of hurts a lot. Like, Peter's not dead, but they're trying to weave that line of it was okay for Miles to exist like that in the comics because Peter was dead in his original stories. So, but nowadays, yeah, but I love just playing this game. This game plays so well. I platinumed it, which is the first real platinum I've ever got. The Batman platinum that I got doesn't count because you just get that for beating chapters.
The Batman platinum.
Yeah, Telltale Batman.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I just love playing this game. They streamlined the sort of abilities stuff. It doesn't have the abilities wheel, but I don't know if that's for the best in a lot of cases. But I don't know. I loved playing it. That's why it's low on the list. I thought for sure it was going to be higher up, but after I was done with it, I was like, I don't know. The Spider-Man stories I always enjoy, and they kind of flubbed it in a lot of ways. Tears of the Kingdom is next on this. Again, I really, really thought this was going to end up being my game of the year, but this year was so jam-packed with stuff that it says a lot about Tears of the Kingdom, where I still really, 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 really love this game.
Zach, call it a name.
Call it
and give it a name. What's his real name? It's not Tears of the Kingdom. What is it?
Uh,
You got something. Come on.
You know, you got something in your.
I don't know.
We put him
No?
on the spot.
Oh.
Put him on the spot. Now he
I
doesn't
thought you
have
had. I thought you were like locked and loaded.
it.
Tears of the Poop Dome.
There we go.
That was my default. That's what I was expecting. If nothing
Yeah.
else.
More like peas of the.
I could have just said it myself, but I thought it'd
More
be
like
funnier.
Peas of the Poop Kingdom.
Yeah. Peas of the Poopdom.
No, but yeah, no, I still really really like this game. But it didn't hit the spot by the time I was done with it that Breath of the Wild did, but I still like enjoyed every minute I've played of this game at the end of the day. So I'll be interested to see what a new platform will do for this style of Zelda game because it needs it.
No, what it needs to do is not do this. Not do this again.
No,
I
it's
can't-
going to do
I
it
can't
again.
do a
He's already
third.
said it's going to do it again. They've confirmed that it's going to do
Can't
this
a
again.
third. I'm tired of it.
So the next ones on this are back to back or just sort of they're little
The
freak
freak
show games,
show.
man. Yeah, they're little freak show games, man. I don't know where else to put these, but these are like I said, everything's in order, so it
I
just
got an
worked out
idea.
really well.
Let's see if it's on here.
Okay, how about Pizza Tower?
Yeah.
I love the aesthetic of this game. I love the humor of this game. I love the feeling of playing this game. It's a perfect little platformer. I don't think there's a better straight platformer that came out this year, and that's saying a lot because Mario games came out this year. But god damn, this game is right in my wheelhouse, and I love its sense of humor. It's so fucked up and funny and great.
It's like 90s Nickelodeon.
100%. It's a classy chupo ass game, man, and I love it. Next up though is also El Paso Elsewhere. What if Max Payne was cool and not a cop? That's what you get. He's a vampire hunter, having to hunt his ex lover, who is Dracula. What is it? The female Dracula?
Dracula, yeah.
Yeah, Dracula. It's got the best soundtrack of the year by a significant margin, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's an original hip hop rap soundtrack.
Yeah,
the game.
Yeah, and it plays like Max Payne and a lot of other sort of PS1 era action games, and it has that. It has that Max Payne noir style storytelling, but it's done like way more way modern and more interesting than going back to Max Payne in particular, especially after Alan Wake has come out and kind of expand upon some Max Payne situations. It changes some of the stuff even more. Next up, we're coming in on the finals here, but these are I've lost track of where I was at. I don't know what number I'm at anymore. Anyways, Street Fighter 6, baby. I've put in I think 60 hours of Street Fighter 6 across 2 platforms.
Wow.
That's it.
Not enough to get good.
Yeah, not enough to get
Sorry,
good.
buddy.
I did just get a leverless fight stick or fight pad. So
for Tekken, right?
Yeah, for Tekken 8. Can't wait.
That's Tekken 8 shit talk for those who are not in the know.
I coming off of Street Fighter 5 in particular, which is a poopy game for losers.
This is not a poopy game.
This is not a poopy game, and God, I don't know how much. Zach, have you played around with Street Fighter 6 a lot?
I haven't even played it.
Okay.
I just watch a lot of it though.
They've got the 2 new, or technically 3 new, like control schemes. There's like a classic, modern, and sort of like a mixed one. And the mixed one's just kind of it's like playing it on a 3DS where it just has like push this button for
macros
for combo. It's funny because it's like the modern controls just fuck me up. Like they are easier to use on some fighters, but other fighters like Cammy, who I'm used to, or even like Ryu and Ken, they're just kind of like where they all rely on half circles and quarter circles and stuff.
Yeah.
It's way harder for me to like wrap my mind around the modern stuff. But no, Street Fighter 6 is a fantastic game. Yeah, the story mode's really kind of fun and goofy. And they've done a lot to make it a lot more like accessible to the streaming audience too. So I like that it has fake commentary in it. That's interesting, and it's done really, really well.
And there's real voice actors too.
Yeah, so it has, and it's like it has like real like commentators and even like celebrity, because like a professional
but not
wrestler,
certain ones.
Yeah, definitely not certain ones, but like it has a professional wrestler, Zelina Vega, doing commentary on it, which is kind of like she's come out dressed as Street Fighter characters as her wrestling gear and stuff, so she's all in on the lore of Street Fighter. So yeah, I like it. Next up, Stasis Bone Totem.
Hey, I use that same exact screenshot
because it's good.
It
really gets you. It really pulls you into what to expect from Stasis Bone Totem.
A bone in stasis.
Yeah. Nah, this game is fucking good. It wasn't even on my radar until a combo of Mandalore and Zack sort of brought it into my circle, and I downloaded it and I just played through it. It's a true horror game. In every sense of the word, and it's using the claustrophobia of being under sea, on top of like this is a married couple who have some issues. I don't want to spoil anything because nobody else has played it other than me and Zach.
Yeah, I was gonna say, please don't.
Yeah,
I literally just bought it, so it's not on my list for that reason.
But it delves into loss and your faith. Like it's a deeply religious game.
Awesome. Wow.
It's and it's spooky, man. It is upsetting in a lot of ways. Definitely this needs to be on everyone.
Is it only Steam right now?
I think so.
Okay, that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think so. Because it's really, at the end of the day, it plays really well on a controller, but it is a point.
Yeah.
Adventure game.
It's $13 right now.
Yeah, it's on sale right now. So it's
sliding over to the purchase.
It's a classic adventure game too.
100%. Yeah.
So it's just like it's really easy to play.
Sweet.
Yeah. No.
Sweet.
And it does some really quality of life stuff that you don't see in a lot of traditional style adventure games. So it really helps you along to progress the story in a lot of ways for the best.
It's on some other platforms or some other storefronts, but it is PC only at the moment.
PC only, yeah.
So but it's on Epic and GOG as well.
Yeah.
If, that's the kind of thing that bothers you.
Okay. Next up, this is it. This is 2 and 1. So
I know what they are.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alamo 2 and Resident Evil 4.
You're half right. You're half right. My number 2 is a game that I don't think anyone would have expected, but it's here. I will say it's an early access game, but it is content complete and it launches in full in 2 weeks. So it's.
I'm sorry, that's still a flogging.
It's
this
Lodge
one.
Art Grimoire.
Yeah, dude.
Okay,
I showed you this.
This is the best Picross game I've ever played.
Oh, cool.
It does some really fun stuff. It is crafting. You have to craft items. You have to solve puzzles to get concepts to be able to fuse them to unlock other puzzles. And they get big too. They're like 40 by 40 is pretty big for a Picross puzzle, man. But
I can barely do like the 6 by 6. So.
And it's one of there's a feature in it that I love that isn't really advertised at all, but it has this like, if you're close to solving certain puzzles, but like you got them conceptually right, but not what they wanted, you have the potential of unlocking these little fucked up puzzles where the main character tried to draw the picture, but he's not a good artist. So, so there's a bunch of hidden puzzles that are like that. So you like end up with like these little like Picross puzzles of like a fucked up little guy or something, and it's great. It's got heart. It's
just added this to my wish list.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. Like I said, it's in early access right now, but it's content complete. All the puzzles are there. It launches very, very like I said, this month they're launching it, and it's going to add a couple of things and like a handful of bonus puzzles, but overall, yeah, absolutely phenomenal Picross game. I love Picross, and this is definitely my favorite. That
Picross is like one of the only things that I pick up my Switch for. So having a game that's on PC, Steam Deck, it's on my Steam Deck. It basically means that I retire it.
Yeah,
like go to sleep, buddy. You've done enough.
Yeah, it's so funny too, because when it launched, the Steam Deck support was very bad. Like it didn't have particularly good controller support, but now it's like playing it just normal, like you've always played it on a Switch or whatever. It just plays. This controller support's 100% there. And my absolute number one, runs away with it, favorite game of the year is, of course, Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Good game.
There is something to behold that these are very, very competent and confident developers creating something that they are not going to be told what to do. At the cost of, in some instances, at the cost of being a well-playing game. In some instances, there's going to be something everyone hates about Alan Wake 2 in one way or another.
Man,
but it's there for a reason, and they weren't going to be like, maybe we shouldn't go this far into this particular play option or something, but they did, because this is the game they wanted. You could tell this is the game they wanted. I do say I think this is a cry for help from Sam Lake, which I 100% this is he doesn't know where to go anymore, and this game is just him working through some stuff.
Yeah, he's spiraling out of control.
Yeah, and
I think he does twirls more than spirals in the dance number.
Yeah, boy, the live action stuff is so good in this. Like they blend so many different things into this game into just a perfect storytelling experience. It is and to have it turn into the Remedy Universe game. Yeah. Like you're getting answers for questions from completely different games in this game, which is wild.
Yeah, from like Max Payne 2. There's like some Max Payne's like, oh, that's why okay.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. It's perfect. It's a perfect game for me. I loved every minute of this, and it was well worth the wait. Alan Wake was such a good game, and this is so much not like Alan Wake. Right. It's more completely new than it is like than samesies with the first Alan Wake. So it does so much and uses everything perfectly. Like you got to play this in the best fidelity you can. Like I'm playing it on the PS5 because my computer can't handle this in any meaningful way, and it's the lighting is perfect.
Dude, the way the lighting works, where it has like a sense of depth to it, and like the objects that it's shining onto, and like the amount of light that would refract off of that is just like it's such a level of like detail I've never seen before in a game ever, period.
100%.
Like it blows my mind, like transitioning from like an open area into like a closed area and like going through a door with the light is like crazy. It's insane.
Yeah, there are times where you have to like shield your own eyes because it's doing exactly what would happen if you were going from a dark room to outside with the sun at noon, you know.
Or you turn off the flashlight in the game so you can walk through a door so you don't like hurt your own eyes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so man.
And the flashlight stuff is so much better this time around than in the original game. They do some real cool shit with the flashlight stuff. There's even puzzles with the flashlight, which is nice.
I'm going to talk about that on my section.
Yeah, we'll keep it for that. But I also like the way they layer over some live action stuff from time to time on your screen. Like you're walking through and there's like, you're walking through the level, but they're also layering over some live action footage to sort of mess with you.
It's only a game that could come out right now with the type of consoles that we have. Like it's like they've been wanting to make this game for forever, and they've waited because like a console couldn't ever do this.
Yeah,
a PC probably couldn't do this until recently.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's crazy.
It's and I said it at the beginning. This is just probably the most competent game I have ever played.
It feels like a Kojima game. It's like, whoa, like this is from people who just know their stuff, and it just feels like that level of like expertise and like knowledge.
They're not taking input from what's popular right now. They're just I'm just making what I want to make, and this is what you're gonna get, and you're gonna eat it up. And they were right. So that's it. I don't got nothing else. There's no other slide. This is it. That's my game of the year. Alan Wake 2.